I'm going to introduce everybody sort of again to what we're trying to do. And we'll do this for a few times until we start getting everybody into the mix. But we've been trying to do about a 15-minute presentation, 20-minute, 30-minute, whatever the presentation winds up being, but a very short presentation just to get us a topic on the table. As we mature as a group, we won't have to do that anymore. We'll just sort of have these discussions going. But for now, at least, to be able to do that. I've already talked to 2 other guest speakers for spring to come in and talk about different things. Brian O'Connor is going to come in and talk about creating posters for conferences. He said he has a really good way to create the posters and the idea of how to present it and such as that. So we're already starting to work on spring things, but we'll do a quick introduction, interrupt, especially if you're online for Bobby and Michelle. If you're not seeing what you want, let me know, and we'll try to get that corrected. But after sort of the formal presentation, it's very informal. During the presentation, it's very informal. We're just trying to get some information out there to start talking. It's all yours.
Okay, so today the topic will be how to plan and attend professional conferences. So we know that we have a conference coming next week, right? And some of you are actually presenting. And everyone is welcome to attend the International Conference on Non-Management, which will be held in Dallas. Okay, so here is the keyboard. So here is the outline that I try to cover, but really it's like the start points for us for our discussion. Okay, so
I'm going to share the screen.
Yeah, it would be great. Oh yeah, share screen is better. Not me. Hi, I'm Michelle. See you online.
There you go.
Okay, so we'll discuss like why attend professional conferences, what conference we should attend, what kind of preparation you should do before you go to the conference, and the attire, the dress code. What else? Well, at the conference, what other things that you should do? If you are giving a presentation, either it's a poster or an oral presentation, some of the issues that you want to pay attention to, and also what will you react or do after the conference. So basically, we'll try to cover those topics. So I think we all can identify 1 or 2 or more reasons for attending professional conferences, right? So basically, we want to learn from others as a way for us for our professional development, and also use that a lot for social opportunities or networking with other colleagues or fellow students in other schools. And also there are opportunities for your job hunting and grants, collaboration. So there's all kinds of opportunities that are offered by professional conferences. And really that if you don't go to the conference, you will not be able to enjoy the benefits. You want other people to know you, right? As well as you know other people, important people in your field. Other reasons for faculty may include that you recruit for the department. What else? You try to promote your college, your department, your university. So, for example, for this time I'm going to ACES. I'll have multiple missions with me. One is as a search committee chair. I need to see whether there's good candidates for the data science position in our department. The second one will be I will bring the ads for my JCDL 2018 conference to attract more attendees for that conference. Well, I'm the general chair. What else? Also, I need to meet with the publisher of my journal So the publisher will give me something that will, maybe something that you need to do this, that, who knows. What else? Of course, it's to meet all my old friends, my boss, my dissertation advisor, my boss, my longtime friends. It's just, ACES is the best conference. Anyway, so we all know that the benefits of a conference, but now the things that do we have the money to go? Okay. So, which conference is important because we have a limited budget? So, you do have to consider this because there are so many conferences that you can go. You do have to consider what are the most relevant ones to you, right? And then how much you can budget, what kind of funding sources that you can apply for to get some extra support for your conference attending. And usually, I think there's a rule that when you don't, the university don't sponsor you if you don't have any presentation or poster accepted. So be aware of the due days that you have to submit the papers, the posters, those kind of important due days has to be aware of. Okay, here are the conferences that I attended. Okay, so ICTM is the annual conference. So this year, as I said, will be in Dallas, which is go to the name, right?
It's in Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, right. But a lot of people, I heard from Habib that actually students can go with the registration fee waived, right? So in other words, that you are encouraged to attend ICTM. This year, I think we have a wonderful program. We have the program cover data analytics, knowledge management, and we have project management. There's a variety of talk sessions. It's just wonderful. We have people from overseas. We have from other universities as well. So, and what you need to just go, you drive there, find a driver, or you guys drive together, go there together. So this will be next week. I think starts in June 25th, 24th, the date, right? Starts on Tuesday, and then Wednesday plus 3 days, 2.5 days. Next one will be the ACES annual conference of the Association American Knowledge Exchange, Association of Science and Information Technology. Can't remember what's the full name, but anyway, ACES is the major conference for information science people in the planet. So this year will be ACES 80 annual celebration conference in Washington, D.C. The dates will be from October 27th to November 1st. So that's actually the joke that my husband said. Halloween, you're always not here, not home. Just like that. I don't know why they did that. But
I get in trouble for the same thing.
yeah, what's going on? At Halloween, they have the conference. Anyway, but maybe we'll have a lot of fun actually this time in DC for Halloween. So ACES, so we'll, as I said, we'll meet a lot of high school students like you, fellow students, faculty, faculty and fellow students, a lot. iConference next year will be in March. In the United Kingdom, the UK, Sheffield, there's a high school there. So that involves international travel, probably will be quite expensive. Anyway, so that's one of the major factors we consider the cost. Next one is the JCDL is the annual conference. So this year, I could talk about JCDL. Okay, because this, whether could
Stop blinking out.
upload, let's see. Upload the, oh, your Gmail is still here, but let me open a new tab. Okay. So here is the website of JCDL for next year, okay? June 3rd to June 7th. I'm the general chair of this conference. You know, in order to be a host of this conference, I went through the application process with the ACM. So, in other words, it's not easy to get the chance to host a conference like this. So this is a joint conference of digital libraries from IEEE and ACM, which is a top conference in our field, especially digital libraries. So this is the organization. It has a steering committee. So that's the one that's on the slides. Yeah, that's a good one.
Will you go up and click on the camera also? Let's see if they can see both.
This one?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Should I turn it off? Or...
Oh, you can do that.
Okay. So everyone is welcome to submit something to JCDL 2018. Okay. This conference has an acceptance rate of 30%. And also it has workshops and posters, okay? It's very competitive. Every paper, every submission will be reviewed by at least 3 reviewers. It's even more than my journals, okay? But it'll be great. And I just got an email from our dean. Unity President, welcome to JCDL 2018. Back. Where is the slideshow? That's the chance to talk about my conference. Okay, so the other professional conference, not have to be necessarily academic, will be the ALA, the American Library Association conference. It's a very fun conference to attend, I must say. I love the new books, the huge exhibition. The TLA as well, also very good. TLA, you got the second largest book exhibition from all the vendors and the publishers. So more academic conference like CIR, ACL, track, that's more for people doing technical research. But I think Dr. Allen will talk about his conferences later on. Okay, preparation. Before you attend the conference, what are you gonna do? If you want to submit something, you need to check early the deadline. But for the conference that we all go to, almost know the deadline. For example, JCDL usually January, CIR January, ACES June, April sometime in April, right? ICCM, what's the ICCM deadline? It's June? Okay, so yeah, I-conference, November? No. September, yes, September, yes, so deadline's important to know, okay? What else?
We're going to try to do some of the brown bags so that we start organizing around the conference deadlines, so that we're talking about papers and topics and such as that as they come on. So,
ahead of time, yeah. Right. So you also need to pay attention to the registration deadline because they have discount rate for early registration, things like this. Some of the conferences offer funding support for doctoral students, like KCDL. We have the doctor consortium. That the doctoral students accepted will be the registration fee will be waived. They also offer something else. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But basically, you need to prepare for your attending. If you are going to present your poster, you need to have the poster printed, right? Prepared and printed. Faculty, of course, will bring our business cards. Doctoral students, I do see some of the doctoral students prepare their business cards. Yeah.
UNT will do free business cards for students.
Good news. Yay!
Wow.
Excellent. And then if you present, yes, I think it's better to bring your handouts or some handouts, especially the handout of your presentation, because there's chances sometimes that there's no power or there's no the PowerPoint that you can present at the time that you can just talk to people. And I met one of these accidents that's this. Suddenly the computer has a problem that I can't use any PowerPoint and I have to talk.
And I always suggest if you're not going to do the handouts, at least have a single sheet with your title slide on it, with your contact information, because you want people to remember. So I put it on a bright yellow or a bright green or a bright red sheet of paper with my title slide on it that says, how to make a conference presentation. Jeff Allen, University of North Texas, cell phone, address, email, Skype, Google Hangout, all the contact information. So when they go home and they're taking all their conference information out, they pull up that bright green sheet with Jeff's name on it, and it has how to download the presentation, how to contact me, so it gives us a good relationship. So everyone walks out of the room with a bright sheet with my name on it and contact information so they can follow up. So even if you don't do a full handout, you at least want the information so they can go and download it and have information to contact you with.
Great. And of course, before you go, you have a checklist. Make sure that you bring things that you need to bring, right? The charger of your cell phone, some of the medicine, right? Especially when it's getting so hectic, you probably want to bring something that help you to cool down. Allergic medicine, something like this. And if you do presentation, you have to practice your presentation, rehearse, okay? You do rehearse. What else? It's very important because you are one of the main purposes to social, right? To networking with other people. So you have, it's better to, definitely you need to do is to check the program, okay? To look at the sessions and the arrangement of the conference that you are very clear that which session that you are going to. Because there's like parallel sessions. You can only go to one of them, right? Or so you make your decision maybe earlier, better. And also there's a logistic issue that you try to stay in the hotel of the conference. That gives you more time to network, and also will be much easier for you because the conference will always have events at night. You can go to very late. So you want to be able to attend those events if you stay in the hotel.
I have a question. Once I found out that we could attend the ICCAM, I tried to call the hotel and they said that they're sold out. Because I live in Oklahoma, so I drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sold out, that's good news.
And so I wondered, the man at the hotel, the manager, he said, you need to talk to someone at the university because they were like rearranging the rooms and they may have an extra one. But do you know who I would talk to about that?
Will you send an email to Solomon?
Uh-huh.
And he can see what rooms are available.
Okay.
We were we were moving some rooms around,
Okay.
so we may have a hole
Okay.
that can either be had or shared.
Okay.
But it's worth it. It doesn't normally work that way, but in this particular situation, at this particular time, it might work.
Yeah.
It's sort of that last minute, find a ticket.
Yeah, I think Jeff, are you the co-chair or the chair? Yeah. So Jeff
Okay.
is right. That's very good. That you can. I don't know if there's any other hotels nearby.
No.
But with
Simply
your
not.
car, you can actually find some place, probably in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have a car, that's okay to drive. Yeah. So it's not big. So how to dress for the conference? So you need to know the dress code. It's different. It's quite different. I remembered when I go to ACES, it's always that you dress very kind of formal, business dress. Okay, but the JCDL is different. JCDL people are more doing computer work. So there's very casual. Okay, so.
And how would you find that out the first time you attend a conference? So if you're going to a conference first time, how do you figure out what the attire is?
I see people.
But you've never been there before.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you find out?
Contact.
Ask around.
Contact, ask around. You can ask faculty members, other graduate students. Go online.
Yes.
Look at previous conference pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will have pictures there of the gala or the evening presentations. They'll have pictures of presenters, and you can sort of look around the room and see how they're dressed and what they look like. And that way, when you go in there and sit, you feel comfortable. So for me, I'll always have a jacket like this when I'm attending. It will have UNT on it, so that I don't have to wear a business jacket if I'm sort of going in and out of rooms. That I have some way that I can have something that can be worn everywhere. So if I go out in the city, I have things to do it. But sometimes you've never attended, you have no idea. You're attending it brand new. Well, I've gone online and looked at pictures from last year's conference to figure out what I should be wearing. And I don't have to dress the best, I don't have to dress the worst, but I sort of want to mingle with the group and feel comfortable. So go and investigate the year before to see also.
Yeah, and also you want to dress comfortably. That's very important. Not only very formal, but also comfortable, right? So you don't make yourself comfortable. So if you are a presenter, it's kind of different. Presenter, you need to dress more formally, right? But you have to prepare for that. And as a regular attendee, you can dress very casually with jacket, whatever, make you comfortable.
Michelle, you're going to say something?
Oh, Michelle, go ahead.
Oh, I just sorry. Loud. I just addressed some layers due to the air conditioning, and then also if you can find a conference mentor, so someone that attended before, and then you can meet at the conference, and they can be your guide or your buddy during the conference, and they can really help you with knowing the lay of the land and everything from dress to communication to who you might want to meet or should know who is at the conference. So if you have the opportunity to meet someone or know someone that attended the conference before, it's good to have I call them a conference buddy or a mentor.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to make sure you were able to say that. I saw it on the chat and I appreciate it. Keep going. Click. Sorry.
So at a conference, so you will see that you are in a mix of lots of people, right? It's very easy to get lost. Get lost means that you forgot what you actually planned to do. So that has to be some flexibility, right? So the goal, you try to meet not only the old friends but also new people, right? So you try to.
And everybody comes into a room and sort of sits there with their stuff.
Uh-huh.
If you're a graduate student, I mean, I say this, looking around, you're a graduate student. If you see someone that you go, I would love to know, go up and say hi. My name is Jeff Allen. I'm a grad student at North Texas. And you may know them. Dr. Chen, I've always wanted to meet you, whatever it happens to be. My name is Jeff Allen. I'm at the University of North Texas. I've read some of your work. I like it. But for you, it connects them, because when I see people 3 or 4 years later applying for jobs, I've at least seen their face a few times and recognize them and such as that. And also, go introduce yourself to other people in the room, because if you're interested in a topic and they're interested in a topic, you're a grad student, they're a grad student, or they're a faculty member, then it gives you a group of people that are interested in the same things, and you'll get a conversation started. You get a 5-minute conversation, and what I'll do is say, whoa, I'm really interested in that topic. What are you doing for coffee in the morning? And meet them at Starbucks in the morning and have a cup of coffee. I'll buy their coffee, because it costs me $4 to find out all the information that I want to. And it's a way to socialize, and it gives you another way outside of the session. And you don't have to say, hey, my name's Jeff, I'm doing a lot of research on this, and I'm really interested in this. You go, hi, I'm Jeff Allen, I'm a grad student in North Texas. What kind of research are you into? Those kind of things are great session activities, just to say hi to people. Because if you're interested in knowledge management at a conference, and you see the same face in 2 different sessions, there's a generalized interest between the 2 of us on what we see. You'll see the same faculty members in the same sessions time after time, because we're sitting in a hotel room highlighting the same type of topics. Well, there's going to be some general ways of doing that.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And then you try to attend as many sessions as possible, so you get to kind of get most out of the conference. Usually what I did is, like, I'm looking at the program. The program should usually online, right? So you download the program, or you print out the program, you mark on it, make sure that you have all your time actually arranged. You know well to attend. Many conferences have special offers, special social events, or for example, some interesting talk from the industry, from the publisher, or some social events to visit some of the historic location. So we try to attend as much as possible. Let those opportunities go away. Okay, just take advantage of all the special offers by the companies. And the behavior issue. Yeah, want to talk about this?
No, I'll talk about it. Don't be an idiot. I mean, seriously. If you're going to, and don't be at the conference what you would be with your friends. And I say that for me too.
Me too.
I need to represent my institution. It's not the time for me to complain about my institution.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a time for me to complain about faculty.
Right.
Even though I want to, it's not the time, because they can't help you. They can't solve your problem. And if they can't solve your problem, then it's not going to be productive. And remember, we're at the conference as North Texas, in this case, representing and saying, all right, North Texas, come in and be involved with us.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm seeing that time and time again from students at University of Louisville, then I'm going to sort of put University of Louisville sort of down a little bit and how that program is compared to others around the country. And the professionalism is something that we know how to do. We just sort of sometimes forget ourselves and go, let me tell you what happened. Well, there may be time when we're having coffee that, I'm going to ask and we're going to share and such as that. But at the last conference that I attended, I was on the board of directors, and I had a colleague at another university say, "Hey Jeff, I was in this session. Your students didn't show up." Oh, okay. Well, for the next 3 or 4 hours, I have another colleague to come up and say, "Hey Jeff, I was in the session on this. Your students didn't show up." Well, those are the ones that you go, okay. Well, 2 of those students that didn't show up, thought the third one was, all 3 of them were looking for faculty jobs. Do you know why those faculty members were in the session? To watch them present, because I had told them they were going to be presenting during a certain session, and that they were looking for faculty jobs. Did the students know that? No, that was between me and a friend saying, "Hey, I have this prospective student that you want to go see." My friend said, "Okay, Jeff, I trust your judgment about the students. I'll go to the session." The students don't show up. Does that happen very often? No, it doesn't happen very often. It's always wonderful. However, that's where North Texas is that, because we're sometimes having to help behind the scenes on things also. And you don't want to put people, whether it be your friends, colleagues, your faculty, your institution, in a bad place of going, "Oh, I'm sorry." And that's that big professional piece that all of us have to remember, because it's really easy to go to VC and see our friends and start complaining, because that's just our common piece. But it's also a good time to, go and have dinner with faculty and see what's going on with them.
Yes, I want to emphasize that, because when we go out, we are representing UNT. Okay, usually other people may ask you what's going on or what's up, and really I hope that you can not only tell about what you are doing, but also some of the good things happen in the department or in the college. Your professors' work or some exciting projects. So we need to give out the message that we are doing well, and also that that will help, in my opinion, will help our rank and help you as a student to find the job in the future. So next to say that sleep well, because sometimes I feel I'm getting so overexcited and I cannot come down at night, and which really affect me the next day to the session and also talking with the people. So you just need to have a little bit more control of yourself sometimes, so that you know what are the things that you need to do next.
Bobby said she had an example. Bobby, you want to go ahead?
Bobby.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I had kind of an example of what you were talking about, where you might have some like real needs and maybe some things that in some ways, you have, like what you said about solving a problem made me think of this. So I just went to the Mountain Plains Library Association conference, and as most of you probably know, I'm a new faculty. I'm still in my first year, and I'm down in Houston by myself, running the program. So while my faculty in Denton is very supportive, Michelle is very supportive, that's a unique situation, right? And so I have unique problems that not necessarily can my UNT faculty help me with. So while I was there, I actually met someone from Emporia who was, he was doing the job that I do, but in Nevada for Emporia. So I just talked to him about, like, here's some of the challenges that I've had, and what have you done to resolve these? And he was able to give me some tips that were so specific, because we're in almost exactly the same situation. So just sort of taking what could be like, oh, there's some things that are hard about my job, but rather than talking about them in that way, using it as an opportunity to really network and problem solve.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm still working on technical. I'm trying to get us switched back and forth between being able to see the two of you and our presentation, but once we get finished, we'll be able to do that. Okay.
I think that's still okay. I have two more slides. So presentation. If you are going to do a presentation, because I remember when I was in my early years as a faculty, I submit full papers to ACES conference. So I was doing presentation at a conference. Some of the issues that you should pay attention to when when you are going to present. So you should be there to the room a little bit earlier to test the devices to make sure that your PowerPoint or your presentation can be uploaded. So that's
Ignore
one
the
thing.
person up here.
Okay, and then for we are doing the presentation, really you don't want to like read your slides and just stare at your screen. So really pay attention to your audience and try to make eye contact. Relax. Have good posture. Press steadily. That's what I borrowed from the internet. So some of us can likes to do a lot of gestures. So here said keep your hands at your sides. So you try to engage your audience by using variety, your voice and avoid the monotone. Yeah, go ahead. Talk to me about this.
I think it's a very good thing just to practice. I mean, when we talk about, am I going to have to do a presentation in class? The faculty member goes, yes. Well, really, that's getting you presenting in front of audiences, not to just do presentations on the different topics and to cover topics, but to facilitate those things. And anytime that I'm sitting and reading, when I'm listening to a presenter at a conference, and I'm listening to them read a paper, I'm going, please, just hand me the paper. Let me read it myself. I don't need you to read it to me. So relax during your presentation. Know that the paper is there. The audience has the paper. Know that your information on the PowerPoint slides are there. You only have 10 minutes to present. Have a conversation with a friend. I mean, seriously, when you're presenting to a room, have a conversation with a friend and say, hi, hello, how are you doing? Today I'm going to cover this topic. I have a lot of information on the screen about this, but I want to just hit some important points. I want to make sure that you have good posture and you breathe steadily. This is the most important thing that you're going to see on this slide. Next slide and go on from there. That way you're not having to read everything and you don't get caught up into that time, because as a facilitator I go, you have 10 minutes. And then what do you see at the end of 8.5 minutes? Somebody going click, 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 to get to the rest of their slides. And you're cheating you and your audience both out of a good presentation. Relax. They have the paper. There's no way you can cover everything in 10 minutes. Cover the big highlights and sell it. Because I want to go at the end of the presentation going, hey, you want to get to know me? I know this topic. I know this stuff. This is a really interesting topic. Be involved. That's really what you're doing as a presenter at a conference, is going, look at what I'm doing. They can go read all the things at the hotel at night, but I want them to become involved in me as a presenter. So as you're presenting, you're selling you. You're selling North Texas, you're selling you, and you're selling your program at North Texas because you're going to have a degree from it. And the more you can build that degree and that label and such as that, then the better off you become in your career.
Well said. Okay. So after the conference, usually you collect a pile of business cards, right, from the conference. And also maybe some call for papers, some interesting software or some ads, right? So you're gonna just organize those to see what are the interests. So that's one issue that we always have, is that we just forgot what to contact the person that we set to contact. And then after several months, that is, all those memories fade away, and you actually lose that contact. So
The plan for next year's conference,
mhm.
one of the things that I do when I attend different conferences is I write notes. Google Notes is a really good thing. I have a class that I teach for the ironworkers every summer. At the end of every summer, I put my notes on what I need to do different next summer, and I really do my packing list for my next year's conference. So I don't bring as much, I don't have to have as much, and such as that. And if you start getting in the cycle after you've attended certain conferences over and over, that you know how they work. But until then, taking notes from one conference to the next, I'll forget that there's a opening breakfast each year. Well, my conference notes will say, make sure you attend the opening breakfast next year. That way, as I'm preparing for the conference, I can look at my schedule and make sure that I attend that. And I'm attending a lot of the information science conferences for probably the second time or third time, but it's been a while, and I'll be doing that so that I know what the dress code is, what to attend, what not to attend, and such as that. So, yeah, and Michelle said, adding, go ahead, Michelle.
I wanted to add four things that I do. So during the presentation, and I presented last week and I'm presenting tomorrow. So this is like regular routine for me. But I always create my own sign-in sheet. And I request name and email so I can follow up with attendees afterwards and send them, reference lists, additional materials beyond what they see, and especially if the presentation's not available electronically or you don't want to print out your full presentation. Secondly, some conferences will actually ask for evaluations, and they give you the evaluations after. So you actually get feedback on your session. And I read all of these and take to heart what they say, and especially if it's a presentation you plan to repurpose at some point and present a portion of it again, you have valuable feedback from attendees. And then the last two items afterwards, so you come home, you're tired, trying to absorb everything. I don't know how many of you use LinkedIn, but that is my professional network that I use. I actually link in with everyone that attended my session if they provided their information and they're on LinkedIn, as well as I go through the full conference program and I send a special note to every single person. It takes time, but then you connect with individuals. Maybe you couldn't go to their session because you went to a different session that was concurrent. Well, you can say, I missed your session, but I'd like to connect. It's a great topic. Here's what I'm doing. And you're just building your professional network. So that's a suggestion, all three suggestions I offer.
That's great suggestions. Thank you. Whoa.
Okay, and for Michelle and Bobby, I have y'all on screen now so we can
Great.
all see each other. So y'all get recorded on screen too. Well, as we sort of finish this up and we wind up going on some of these a little bit long. Questions, comments, discussion to sort of open up to their group. What do you want to know?
I want to know about like timing, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you're presenting a paper, you said 10 minutes, correct? And so like for ICCAM, for example,
Uh-huh.
there's in a session there's 4 presenters and it's 90 minutes. And you said that there's supposed to be 10 minutes for a presentation?
So one of the things that I do, and that everybody has their different ways, is if I know that there are 4 attendees and there's an hour and a half, I'm going to plan for a 15-minute presentation. Because I take 4 people divided by 4, there's an hour. There's going to be a little bit of time between, and there's always going to be time at the end. So I'll typically plan 10 to 15 minutes. What I would rather do is I would rather be a little bit short of my presentation because the other presenters are going, okay, I have more time. Well, I'm willing to give them more time because I've given all of the things that I need. And then also, if I'm a little bit short, it gives people a chance to ask questions of me about my presentation. So I would rather be a little bit short rather than a little bit long on what I'm doing. Because if you're long and I'm the 4th presenter, I'm going, You just took up 1 minute of my time. You just took up 2 minutes of my time. You took up 3 minutes of my time. You took up 1 minute. There's 4 minutes. 5 minutes of my time. 6 minutes of my time. 7 minutes. 8 minutes of my time. I now only have 2 minutes to give my presentation. Well, by then the audience is pissed off at me because I'm running long. So if we're all graduate students or graduate students and faculty, I have to be sharing and full of time. So as I prep, I know that I'm not going to have more than 15 minutes for an hour and a half presentation if there are 4 presenters. If there are 5 presenters, I'm probably only going to have 10 minutes. If there are 6, I only have 5 to 7 minutes. So as I do my prep, I know that the most I'm going to get is 15 minutes. So I'll prep about 10 minutes. Because I know I can go a little bit slower, I can do a few more things to be able to do it. But remember, you're only doing an executive summary of everything. So my slides are going to be 5 to 7 slides that have good information, because if I have more than that, then I can't have a conversation. Does that help?
Yeah, that does. So do sometimes conferences tell you how much time, or do we just have to like look at the sheet and guess?
I think Daniel sent everybody out a note, but I know that we have facilitators.
Okay.
And you start to get that idea.
I think to add on to that, you have to sort of know yourself a little bit too. I think I tend to, when I present, I talk faster because I'm excited, I'm a little anxious, and I don't think that's unique. So you kind of have to know that. And then I also know when I create a presentation, I typically tend to spend about 2 minutes per slide. So I know whenever I've made a presentation, I can kind of guess about how long it's going to take me to present that.
Yeah,
And this
practice
goes back to
rehearse
practice.
is good, yeah. And I think the idea would be that the shorter is better than longer, okay? To give people more time than just like have to rush out.
Interesting, shorter.
Interesting.
Interesting,
And I
short.
think if I want to really kill, if I want to have one of those presentations where when I'm done, people are coming up, like that was so great, I need to practice it at least 5 times. And once I've run through it 5 times and it's all smooth, and for me a big trick is the transitions. So it's like when you get to the bottom of one slide, sometimes I want to put some lead-in words that are going to help me smoothly transition to the next piece. And those are the kinds of things to me that make the difference between having that feeling afterwards where everybody loved it to versus having that feeling where maybe I kind of bored people.
And to give you an idea, the more you want to do that, the more time. I did a 6-minute presentation for a thing with the Secret Lives of Faculty for the university. 6-minute presentation. I logged over 90 hours of prep time for it.
Wow.
For 6 minutes, 90 hours of time. Why? Because it was a big deal. I really wanted to see whether I could do it as a TED presentation. So it was worth me putting that time in. So 6 minutes, 90 hours. You want to do that for every presentation? No way. But I think what Bobby said is, if you want to kill it, if you want to do a fantastic job, practice, 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 practice. And the group of students here, call and say, I need to practice my presentation. Will you come in and be an audience member? I don't presenting to a bathroom mirror because I think I'm great. I need other people to be able to go, whoa, I didn't understand that. So I'm not a good audience for me. I need other people to do that. And meet me 30 minutes before class or 30 minutes after class. Let's work on our presentations. It's a really good thing to do.
I had a question, because at least as far as I know in the IS field, there's really only one conference that has job seeking opportunity, like an official session, which is ELISE, which has the career specifically, like a career session. So what if you're attending a conference like that doesn't have that, but you're on the market and you want to let people know that you'll be available soon, or you hope to, I don't know, make some connections there, if you're not officially in a career seeking session?
Personally,
Yeah.
if you're my student
Yeah.
You know, and what my student means is different. It doesn't necessarily mean major professor. I've counseled you over your career.
Yeah.
I know where you're going to want to be. If I don't know that you're job seeking, you're not job seeking. Because if you're attending a conference to be in my field, then you're going to be talking to my colleagues in the field. And I want to be able to say, you know, hey, go look, Yang Ping is looking for a position. I know she's going to be ready in 2 years, but she's a superstar. You need to go see her. And I want to make sure, there was a conference buddy comment made. If you're job searching, I'm going to tell you, this year you're with me. And you and I are going to be conference buddies, because when I see Brad and I are going to talk. Well, Brad's the department chair at Louisville. Well, when I see this person at Ohio State, I want to be able to, if you're there, I'm going to say, hi, let me introduce you to Denise. Denise is looking for a job this next year. She's here at the conference. She's been involved in these committees, this, that, so that I have a chance to brag on you. And what's going to happen is I'm going to say, hey, I got to go get a cup of coffee, you know, I'll be right back. Well, then you and Brad get to talk. Well, now you got to talk to the department chair that you wouldn't have had an opportunity to because we were together. But if you're going out there searching and your faculty members don't know that you're searching, then there's no way for them to informally help you. So ASIS has a job board, and as a department chair, I can reserve a room, or as a search chair, I can reserve a room to do interviews in. But I was telling Mehdi the other night, he needs to be uploading his resume to the ASIS site so that people know that he's searching. And I'm just getting integrated in the department, but I know that at Assist, Mehdi is looking for a position. Okay, I can help. And that's the piece that becomes really important, that you're not searching for a job. If I hire a faculty member, Rose Baker, John Turner, Karen Johnson, we hired all in the same year. I talk to every one of their faculty. Because there's no way that I would hire them without talking to their faculty. So to me, that's the biggest thing. It may be very different here, but I'll make bets everybody around the faculty, there were connections made there. It's a small community.
Yeah, so the IS field, at least it is a big deal that you have a resume in, and ASIS, you should check the ASIS website to make sure that you put your stuff in the job line. I don't know now, but definitely me as an advisor that I have your resume, and now I talk with everybody that, hey, this is my student, a wonderful student who's going to market next year or at the time. But I think this is one of the major topics among faculty. Are you hiring? We are hiring. You have students. So are you hiring? I have students. How about what the field? Stuff like that.
And I'm going to say, yes, I have a student. They're presenting a session on Saturday morning from 8:30 to 11:30 on meta-analysis. You ought to take a chance to go by, and I'll write down the note, and I'll give it to you so that you go and see my student. But I, as a faculty member, have to know to be able to help you in that job search. Otherwise, they're just sort of randomly.
But I mean, like outside of like what your faculty member or what your advisor can do for you at the conference, what can you do? Like, is it okay for me to go up to, like you were saying, go up and introduce yourself? Is it okay for me to introduce myself to him and after a while say that I'm looking for something soon?
But I think that's sort of the same way as going up into a bar and saying, hi, my name's Jeff, let me tell you about me. I think you need a lead in on that to find out what they're doing about their program. If you're looking at Louisville, who I used as an example, you should know that there's a position, there's an assistant professor position and a lecturer position at Louisville. That way, when I'm coming up to you and saying, hi, my name's Jeff, wanted to introduce myself and say, hi, I'm looking for a faculty position. I noticed University of Louisville is looking for two positions. One is a lecturer, one's an assistant professor. I'm looking for an assistant professor position. And I noticed from your job ad looked for a particular specialization in this. That happened to be my area. Now I have a lead in because I have a reason to dig into that, because if I'm a department chair at North Texas and you're coming up to me as a new student, there's of course a hi, Dr. Allen, nice to meet you and such as that. But do you have any jobs? I'm going, I have no idea who you are. And do I want to? So you need to be able to give that lead in and know that North Texas in 1 year had 3 job positions. Okay, we have that chance. And for one of our faculty members, Karen Johnson, she interviewed for a job 3 years before and didn't get the position. Came back 3 years later and got the position. But during conferences, we kept up with one another because of that. So I think you can certainly say that. Just make sure you've done your homework and sort of know what's out there on the job market. And it's not unique advice to this. I mean, it's advice that you'd have at any conference. But no, absolutely go up there and say hi, say hello. If there are committees, be in your SIGs, and if they say, are you willing to serve as secretary of the SIG, you can say yes. Why? Because there are going to be faculty members there that are serving in positions on the committee, and it gives you one-on-one interaction with them. So I just think that involvement matters.
Yeah. I think I remembered when I was a Bachelor student, the last year, because I graduated in 2003, so 2002 was the year that I went to many conferences. So that was my advisor joke said, you are actually like a faculty member, like in the traveling so many places. That's what we try to do.
And it matters because I'm going to ask you as a new assistant professor, what's your home organization? And if you say ALA, then I have an idea about you. If you say assist, I have an idea about you. If you say an organization that I don't even know, then it's probably not a match because your area of interest is in an area otherwise. So I think that involvement in the home organization matters. I presented here a couple of years. I think all those things matter. The questions, comments, things we missed? I'm looking at Bobby and Michelle also.
Well,
questions, comments? We have a few more minutes.
I think sometimes if you can be stealthy, you can get on your, if you're in a situation where you're about to meet somebody and it's just popped up, you can get on your phone, Google them, find out what their research interests are, and make a connection that way. I mean, that just takes a few minutes.
Absolutely.
If you can kind of step back.
Yeah.
And you should do it ahead of time. I would add to that, Bobby, but also say before you go to the conference, based on your research.
Definitely. Definitely, but I always find myself in situations that I didn't prepare for. I don't know if that's just me or what.
No, but
you don't always know who they're going to send from that organization. You don't know. So you might know about the organization. You might know about the jobs that are available at the organization, but you might not know which faculty members are going to be there.
And I think it's especially important when you want to be involved in the organization. As board members are up there presenting and doing reports, I'm going to be sitting on my laptop going, Kathy. Okay, Kathy's on the committee for committees. When I go to the little social afterwards, I'm going to stealthily head up there and say, hi, Kathy, how are you doing? My name's Jeff Allen. I'm a student at the University of North Texas, and I'm really interested in becoming more involved in the organization. Well, now she has a reason because her job is committee on committees, so she's looking for people. Well, now I have a name to write down to be involved. I think those things are really helpful. You need to be on your toes and looking for those. Don't stand in a corner. Be involved. And every faculty member, everybody at these organizations, we're all nerds. We are antisocial. We would rather have a discussion one-on-one or two-on-one or three-on-one, not huge audiences, and we're not going to go around saying hi and hello. Everybody wants to be their own little person. So don't worry too much about that. Everybody has the same trepidation as you do as you go through that.
I think also kind of lurking around right before meal times. When I first started going to conferences, I would just go to the conference, then I go back to my hotel room. But now I've learned you want to kind of hang out in the main areas right before meals, even if you don't know anybody, because oftentimes people are getting together to groups, you know, hey, who wants to go get some Italian food or whatever. And those are really great opportunities to make connections with people. If you can do that in a smooth kind of a way. It takes a little bit of skill, but
and you're gonna mess some of these things up, and it's okay. Do it again the next meeting. I mean, it's sort of a dating game that you're just trying to get to know people. But you know, once you attend the conference a couple of times, you start to get to know people. This will be the first. This will be the ACES conference. Will be the first conference that I've gone to in a long time that I don't have a coffee planned in the morning, breakfast with someone, lunch with someone, dinner with someone, or a group, because those social occasions are really big pieces that allow me to connect students with positions and faculty with positions and such as that, for external letters, for tenured faculty members. And I'm going to be doing the same thing that someone new would be doing, is figuring out. I have a friend, Brad Shuck at University of Louisville, that at last year's big conference, both of us are extremely, extremely busy at conferences. I mean, it's really, really bad how busy we are. And we were looking for a time, and Brad said, let's meet at Starbucks at 5:30 in the morning. Do you want to get up at 5:30 in the morning? No. We met in the hotel lobby at 5:30. We walked to Starbucks. Now, we only get to see each other once every year and a half. We walked to Starbucks, had to wait outside of Starbucks because they weren't open yet. We then sat at a table across from one another, and all we were going to do is meet together and do some work on our writing. And we sat and worked on dueling computers, doing our writing. I was writing on a book chapter. He was writing an article. And we were sitting there working for the next hour and a half, being productive. Hey, how's your family going? You know, how are things at Louisville? What's going on? Both of us were able to be productive because we both knew that we needed to be, and we didn't have time to not be productive. But it was a way for us to get connected and know each other. The nice thing about it is, I know that today his daughter, who's 7 years old, is having a birthday. Why do I know that? Because of the conversations and the things that you're doing. So when students are looking for a position with Brad, I can call Brad on the phone or text him and say, hey, call me. The next thing I know, okay, well, there's your department chair connection that you need for a job. That's what you're trying to develop because it's a small community. Questions, comments? Anything else for the good of the cause? Bobby, thank you for joining us online.
yeah, thank you. I've been wanting to come to these, so I'm glad that you made the go-to meeting.
Fantastic. And I'll have it online here within the next 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.